Mm.
And yeah, for us, it was fascinating that, here is a candidate that
Mm.
4 years earlier was to go to the
Yeah,
university, and he
yeah,
applied and probably was, not probably, you were encouraged to go complete your studies and,
yes,
and come back. And then you did. So we're just looking at you like, you know, h-
yeah.
how is it possible that you go finish a degree and still come back? How is it possible to retain, if I would put it that way? I know that Father Corcoran responded, to retain that calling, that vocation. So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
at the time when you were speaking, I could also see a lot of parallel with my own story. Like growing up from a Catholic family, all I knew
yes,
was church, catechism. I even attempted to be an altar boy. My dad has a
yeah.
funny story around that. I never became an altar, but
We did all that at the university.
yeah,
Yeah.
eventually in high school, I got my
Mm.
chance. And so when I finished, I went to a minor seminary. It was a natural transition for me to go to a.
Yeah, yes, yes, yeah.
One thing for me at the time was I was kind of certain that I didn't want to be a diocesan priest. I don't know why. I just felt that I needed to do something else, something different. And so because I was a sacristan also. You were a
Yeah.
catechist, I was a sacristan.
There you go. Yes.
in high school. And so you remember those, I don't know, those prayer books you have in the sacristy. At the back of the prayer book, I saw the St. Patrick's Missionary Society's address. You know,
Yes.
so then I wrote a letter to Father Pat Corcoran, the vocations director, and he
Yeah.
responded with some leaflet of St. Patrick's, and I was excited.
Yes.
Yeah, that kept me going.
I'm telling you. You see, the follow-up question to this, why SPS? That's why, for me, I applied, when you're doing this, you have a list of, I sent out applications. I even went for different interviews. I went to Spiritans, and I didn't go to MSP and all of that, but I was communicating with MSP. No, but when I got Father Pat's letters, I long for them. I can't wait to. His letters were so personal. There was some clarity in his letters that, you see, you are building a relationship, like this man already knows me, that kind of, detailed approach to communication. But more importantly were those leaflets, those prayers. That prayer that says to fight and not to count the cost, to do this and not to seek for reward. I pray that every day. And, it shaped some sort of, and you see that, okay, that aligns with what you really want to do. And just like you, I never wanted to be a diocesan, I don't know. I can't explain for what reason. But what has always inspired me is the missionaries. Now, in my hometown, the missionaries landed in my hometown quite early. They came across from Onitsha to Asaba. And most of those early missionaries, we have their graves. We have their graves. I remember during All Souls and all of that, we go there to pray. And for me, I took it up as well, going there while all these things were going on, to go there, pray and reflect in what it means to be a frontier missionary. And, all those, so each time I encounter Corcoran, because he was our first door into the society, I always say that. Right. He was our first door into SPS, and he was a marvelous director. I believe the generation of applicants that came in through him can attest to this. There was something very, very amazing about the way he handled it. So each time I get all those correspondences and all of that, it just tells you, that this is it, I felt very, very much at home, and the austere nature of the society. Okay, maybe the word austere is not just, there were no trappings of the flamboyance of Nigerian priesthood there. Those unnecessary trappings were stripped. And it was very refreshing for me, for a young person, because simplicity, something about that also appealed to me. The society was so simple, no encumbrances of high monsignor and all of that. Just, focusing on the mission.
Yeah.
And another, the motto was Caritas, Christi. You can't do better than that.
Yeah. And to add to what you were saying about, Pat Corcoran, the Vocations Director,
yes.
I don't know during your time, but, this, not a policy, but something he did was to go visit each candidate after
exactly.
So he came to my home all the way from Calabar to Kaduna. And
he came, I forgot even that part. He came to our house. Who does that? It's just that personal, and from that moment on, it was, you cannot. So and I just pray that the current guys still do it. For a young person, he came to our house. I think he was the first white man to visit our house. He came to our house. He came in, he sat with us, he ate with us, and he spoke to my parents that, okay, this is us, this is who your son is, and if we decide to take him, it is amazing.
Yeah,
so all that, you cannot, nothing trumps that.
After that,
all that personal touch, nothing trumps it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you just see, okay, this is it. This is it. And that was what,
Yeah, that was it for me. And my parents still recount that experience. And
everybody still does in my family.
People in the neighborhood, like you're saying, the first white man entering
the first white man to come to our village, I will even say.
So afterward, we had the pre-candidacy, and also I want to mention Father Jim Kelleher, my good man.
Oh, the great man. The great. Those are great. Those are great.
I worked under Father Jim Kelleher, who was a dear father, indeed. I mean, he was heavy-handed in his approach, but in a very loving way, in a way that actually resonated with me, because I grew up doing he enjoyed, or rather liked, hardworking people around him. And that wasn't an issue for me. And we worked so well, together. And I still remember him, with a lot of fun thoughts of our time together.